Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you all again. Welcome to the show. Can all of you hear me before we start? Okay, let me look through the comments. Hi, Junie. Hi, Almita. Hi, Chris. Hi, Gomez. No sound. Hold on now. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me, please? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Carlo, for the feedback. Okay. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Ricky. Okay. Good. You all have a good week. For the past 2 weeks, it has been a very hectic week. Past 2 weeks, because of the news that's going on with Ukraine, and the markets are reacting very um, erratic now. Okay, especially in gold and oil. These two are the most very uncertain commodities now in the market. Okay, so later we'll have tonight we'll have Mr. Jeffrey and Jake, who will share their views on the market tonight. Okay, and tonight we'll have the non-farm payroll uh, announcement as well. Okay, so we will have today will be a lot of news that will be released. Okay, and let's see how the market reacts. Okay, before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Christopher. Welcome to our live stream show where we discuss about what's going on in these markets. Before we begin, let me introduce to our company. XAU Merlion is a forex broker licensed and regulated in Cambodia. We provide a trading platform for anyone who wants to trade forex or CFDs anytime, anywhere. We offer competitive spreads, quick execution, and 24/7 support. If you wish to start trading with us, please drop us a message on our Facebook page, and we will attend to you as soon as possible. Okay, let's continue on with the show. Tonight is our 19th episode, and we'll be discussing about what has happened this week with Mr. Jeffrey C. and Mr. Jake Atus. Both of them will be sharing their views on the market and what will happen in the coming weeks. Okay. Before I invite both of them, I would like to ask all of you who are watching, please like and share this video to anyone who you think is interested. Or okay. Let me look at. Hi, Sanghut. Nice to see you again. Welcome back to the show. Okay. Let me invite Jeffrey and Jake onto the show now. Hi, guys. Good evening. Nice to
Yes,
see you.
I can hear you. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Okay. Okay, maybe we can start with Jeffrey. Maybe you can share us what
Yeah.
has happened this week.
Okay. Hi everyone. Let's get started. This week, we have the manufacturing PMI beating expectation. Powell affirming the March rate hikes. This causes the strengthening of the dollar. Shortly after, we have the non-farm payroll report at 8:30 Cambodia time. We shall see where it brings us. Today is also the 8th day of Russia and Ukraine war. We can see a lot of uncertainty, increasing volatility, and a surge in gold and oil prices. Russia's selling of the Ukrainian nuclear power plant in Zaporizhia, one of the largest in Europe, provides the latest blow to the market sentiment. Moving on, we can see the Fed chairman Jerome Powell emphasize his support for a 0.25% rate hike, and he has also shown readiness for a 0.5% rate hike if needed in the March meeting. Today we'll be talking about gold and euro dollar amidst the wars seen between Russia and Ukraine. So let's not wait any further. Let me pull out the chart for euro dollar. As we can see, euro dollar has been dropping to a fresh low since the late May 2020 amidst the intense risk aversion. We can also see that there's a very huge support at 1.10, which has already broken and is going downwards. The European economy is likely to suffer more than the US economy from a prolonged conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That means dollar is definitely going to strengthen as compared to the euro. Euro closed at 1.1064 in New York this morning, but dropped sharply during the Asia hours. We can see the downward sloping trend line restrict the short-term euro dollar move between 1.1165 and 1.098. A break of 1.1 appears very likely, which has already happened. A break of this solid support could potentially lead to a further sharp decline to the next support level, which for this case will be 1.0965. This 1.1 psychological level support could hold in the short term. It might even retrace back a bit from the current price. However, you can see the pair stage a correction. So in case buyer fail to defend the support level, the next bearish target is 1.096. The risk for further weakness is intact as long as euro does not move above 1.1125. We can see this is very unlikely now because it has break 1.10, and we can see a very sharp downward trend after that. Looking ahead, the developments related to the Russian-Ukraine war will continue to remain as the main market driver as traders eagerly wait for the non-farm payroll shortly for fresh dollar valuation. So we shall see what's going to go on later. If the data is going to be positive, euro dollar might retrace a bit. However, for now, because euro is suffering more than the US from the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, so we can see euro dollar basically going down further, maybe in the long term, depending on how the outcome of the war between Russia and Ukraine turn out. Moving on, we talk about gold. Let me change to gold chart. We can see gold price seeing an increased demand in the second half of this week. As because this is a safe haven, we can see a lot of funds flowing in due to the Russia-Ukraine war. We can see gold buyers keeping price around 1940 during this morning in the European hours, and it's going up and it's now trading at 1948. The geopolitical headlines will keep the driver's seat for gold price, suggesting more upside. While the US non-farm payroll will be crucial to watch, as we can see the gold has predicted an upside breakout from a symmetrical triangle formation. However, something to take note later during the non-farm payroll, if the data is good, gold might retrace a bit. With the bullish breakout, gold is positioned to retest the 13-month high of 1975. If we find acceptance above the 1950 psychological barrier, which is now trading around that price, is trading at 1948 now. On the downside, the immediate cushion is seen as the triangle resistance support at 1935, which is around this level, 1935. We can see if gold further below there, the sharp sell-off could be triggered towards the powerful support of around 1925. And the firm break below 1925 could lead to the pattern failure, and it could lead to a fresh downward swing towards the next support level. Saying all this, going forward next week, we do have the US CPI inflation data, the Euro monetary policy statement, and of course the Canada's unemployment rate. To stay ahead of this report for those trading the dollar, euro, and Canadian pair. Meanwhile, trade safe. At 8:30 Cambodia time, we do have the non-farm payroll, so we are projecting the data to be good and go to retrace a bit. So we shall see how it turns out later. In the meantime, let me just pass on the mic to Jake as he has some more information to share with us.
Okay, hi Jake.
Okay, hello
Maybe you
sir,
can
good
share
evening.
us what
Yes
views.
sir, I share the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so good evening sa lahat po dyan sa Pilipinas at sa ibang bansa po. So, hoping okay yung trading, pagtitrade nyo po dyan. Okay, so sa ngayon po, sa makikita nyo sa chart natin, gold, XAU USD. So, inihintay lang natin magkaroon tayo ng breakout dito sa 1950 level. Okay, sa 1950 level. Para mapunta tayo sa next resistance level which is yung 1980. So, going niya sa 1980 level based sa nakikita ko po. Okay. So, dito sa support level natin ng 1940, so, pwede yung mangyari mamaya. Diba? So, kung mabibreak natin yung 1940 mamaya, so expect natin na pwede tayong pupunta sa next target natin which is yung 1925. Yun nga yung sinasabing strong support kanina ni Sir Jeff. Diba? So, 1925 level. Pero, after ma-break pa yung 1925 level na yan, so pwede natin makita in higher time frame na pwede niyang balikan yung ah, 1880 level. Pwede niyang puntahan yung 1880 level. So hinihintay lang natin yung magkaroon ng breakout sa support level natin in lower time frame. So, ayun na-expect ko na pwedeng puntahan dyan since na-hit niya naman yung last resistance dito, di ba? Last time, yung 1975 level. So, may chances pa rin yan since makikita natin na sa continuation pattern po yan. Trying yan, di ba? Sa 1950 level hanggang 1975 to 80 level yan ngayon. So, yun nakikita ko sa market. Nasa continuation pattern pa yan. Sa H1 time frame yan. So, next, di ba? Kung mamaya NFP, non-farm payroll, magkakaroon ng rejection dito sa 1950 level. So expect natin na medyo mahaba ibababa niya rin, going to 1900 para sa retest niya dyan sa ilalim sa support level. So, yun yung nakikita ko about gold natin. So, I think that's it, sir. I already told them.
Okay, thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jeff, for your analysis on the markets. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can open the question to the viewers today now. Maybe if any questions, please let us know. I saw one question just now earlier from XC Gomez. Probably let me pull up the question. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah.
Probably this question is from Xere Gomez. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Probably it's in I think in Tagalog.
Yes, sir. Okay. So she's asking if the Euro USD will still go high or the price will go up. So let me just check about what's that? Euro AUD. Euro AUD, yeah.
UAUD.
Yeah, Euro AUD. So I will just share the screen of Euro AUD. Euro AUD here. Okay. So, wow. Okay, so as we can see, di ba? Para kay Erica, so kapit na kapit Okay, so itong ating Euro AUD talagang pababa pa yung price niya. Kung makikita mo naman in a higher time frame. So breakout support din yan. So trying to reach yan ang next support level. Di ba? Which is kung makikita mo, itong 1.146,079 o 1.46 yan na lang. Then next na target niya dyan. Pero, kung magkakaroon naman ng rejection dyan nasa pababa naman na siya, support level na yan. Kakabreak lang ng previous support niya, which is, ayan, yung 1.5 something na yan, di ba? 52, di ba? So, pababa pa yan. So, matatagalan pa yung hold mo dyan na buy. Kung nakabuy ka, medyo matahaba-haba pa yan. So, expect natin kapag na-hit niya yan o magkaroon ng rejection sa 1.146, di ba? 1.46 pala yan. So, pwede siyang mag-retrace dyan sa previous support niya, which is yung magiging new resistance level niya dyan, 1.52. So, yun yung nakikita ko about Euro AUD na tinrade mo ngayon. Yes, sir. I think I answered already.
Okay, thanks, Jake, for answering Aquarius Gomez question. I think I saw one more question from Ricky Junior Shizong. We'll pull out the question. So, hi Jeffrey. Aside from Euro pairs, what is the other currency affected by this Russian and Ukraine conflict? Okay.
Hi, Ricky. That's a very good question. Let me just share my screen for all the prices. Okay. We can see a lot of euro-based pair, euro as the primary currency. We can see most of them are heavily affected. And in euro currency, we do have the sterling. We can see some of the currencies like sterling, kiwi, for example. We can see there's a huge drop in the price as well. And going down further, any other dollar pair as well. For example, sterling dollar, we can see there's quite a huge downtrend as well. However, on the dollar side, we can see there's actually quite some increment over the past few days. So, if your question is aside from euro pair, what is the other currency affected? I would say we can take a look at the dollar pair as well. Anything that is dollar and euro related, like I mentioned just now, euro is definitely more affected in a negative way, and dollar is definitely more affected in a positive way. So we can take that into consideration and take a look at some of the currencies, regardless is it sterling yen, Aussie dollar, sterling dollar, dollar yen. We can see majority of the currency is euro based or dollar based. I think that sum up what most of the currencies will move in terms of the Russian and Ukraine conflict. Any? I saw another questions. Any analysis about euro dollars? Yeah, I think I spoke just now about euro dollar. As we all know that there will be rate hike soon, and euro is definitely more affected, like I mentioned, than the US, because the war is happening in Europe. It might spread to the European countries, which we might not know. It might be Finland, it might be Poland next. To be honest, looking at the current situation, it's hard to say. Ukraine and Russia has not reached any peaceful uh, settlements among themselves. So we can see euro going down, and of course dollar affecting positively. So euro dollar is definitely going to come down a bit more. And before this show, I'm looking at the very strong support level at 1.10. However, we can see up almost 1 hour before broken uh, below at this point. So my prediction about euro dollar is definitely depending on the non-farm payroll, which is going to happen at 8:30. If it's a good data, most likely it will retrace a bit by run. That means in the next few weeks, in the midterm, my projection is euro dollar still going to come down unless Russia and Ukraine conflict has ceased or they have reached an agreement to stop the war. Looking at the war is just the beginning for Russia and Ukraine. If it doesn't stop, Russia might spread the war to other countries like Poland, nearby neighboring countries, Finland, and NATO's might step in as well. So it really depends on what the US government and whether Ukraine decides to give in to Russia for Russia's uh, ridiculous requests. We shall see. Any other questions regarding whether is it gold or euro dollar or the upcoming Russia Ukraine conflict? We can see nowadays the market is erratic, very erratic due to the war. Yes, last year inflation was always an issue when we talk about it. This year, everybody has forgotten about inflation, and the latest news is always about Ukraine and Russia. However, next, let's not forget that inflation is still with us, and the Fed is definitely going to increase the rate hikes. So we can see dollar appreciating more, and with this situation happening in Europe, dollar is definitely going to be a much more safe haven as compared to euro. So to take note about the inflation and the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Any other questions? And just to share a bit more, regardless is it euro, dollar, or is it gold, we can see if you have take this opportunity in this war situation conflict between Russia and Ukraine, you could have made some money from gold if you are long. If you are long on the oil as well, US oil, you could have made some money. We can see that it's definitely going up, and the war is not going to end soon. Today is the 8th day of the Russian and Ukraine conflict. This is not the first time. It happened before in 2014. It happened again today. So we shall see where it leads us. In my opinion, Vladimir Putin, the Russian Prime Minister, is old enough, and I believe he has plans to expand uh, the Soviet Union as compared to last time. So we shall see where it leads us. Uh, and of course, the NATO is not going to step in unless we can see Finland and Poland being in threat. So we shall see where it leads us at this point in time. But at the moment, from the conflict, we believe that opportunity is everywhere, especially in times of chaos. Uh, so to keep a lookout, and especially later 9:30, the NFP report. That's all for me. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Jeffrey, for answering the questions and sharing a little bit more about what will happen in the market and how it will affect the gold price as well. So okay, there's a comment here. Hi, from Fabros. Hi, Chris. I suggest Chris and Coach Jack. Good evening. Is there any possible to slippage occur later because of NFP and Russia versus Ukraine? Okay, probably Jeff, maybe you can answer these questions on the slippage. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Bernard. It's a good question. Is there any possibility that slippage will occur later because of the NFP and Russia and Ukraine war? Okay. Let me just explain what slippage is first. Okay, slippage happens when we can see erratic price moving in a very fast timing in milliseconds and seconds. So what's going to happen, and in what situation slippage will happen is when there's news like NFP, and of course when there's news like Russia and Ukraine war. However, to understand that slippage occurs in positive and negative slippage depending on the position that you have. It can be buy, it can be sell. If you are buying and there's an outbreak of Ukraine and Russia war, you will get a positive slippage. And if you are short on gold and gold is bullish, you get a negative slippage. So slippage happens in the market very often when there's very important reports and very important uh, events like Russian and Ukraine war. We can see today is the 8th. eighth day of Russian and Ukraine war. Is it going to end anytime soon? I hope it does. Send my prayers for people in Ukraine. However, we can see this war, if it was to continue, slippage might occur whenever there's a new event coming up. So this is something that we can take note, and something that we should know is that for slippage to occur, we should always put stop loss in place. Stop loss is a way to prevent slippage from happening in a very huge manner against your account. So to trade safe and remember to put your stop loss.
I think we have another question. Okay. After NFP release later from the questions from Vicky. After NFP release later, usually how long the effect lasts on the market? Okay, maybe Jake, maybe do you know how to explain these questions to Vicky?
Okay. So, Ricky, di ba? So, after i-release yung NFP data mamaya, so usually nakadepende naman yan sa volume ng mga traders after i-release yung NFP, di ba, yung data niya. So, pwede yung umabot ng just few minutes, pero, di ba, may mga times na umaabot yan, even same last time, di ba, nung na-experience natin sa market. Even Monday, may epekto pa siya, di ba, umaabot pa siya. Pero, usually naman, after lang i-release nung news, dun lang nagkakaroon ng effect yan sa market. So, ganun lang naman siya. Kasi dun lang naman nagre-react yung mga traders usually. Kaya dun nagkakaroon ng volume yun, di ba? Tumataas yung volume. Kaya dun nagkakaroon ng pagpitik ng market. Tataas, bababa. Depende sa data na i-release mamaya. So, that's it, sir. I think I answered this question.
Okay, thanks Jake for answering Ricky's question. Okay, maybe I have one more question for Jeffrey. I think there's one thing that's on regards on the Russian-Ukraine market. Many countries around the world has already sanctioned Russia and most of the Russian assets around the world. So with this sanction in place, will it cause shortage supply and will further impact on inflation? Does this sanctions imposed on Russia will prompt the Fed to rate hike even more?
Yes, my biggest wild guess is that inflation has been with us since last year, and it's going to get worse. It's definitely not going to get better. So the Fed might decide to increase the rates faster, or even by a more basis point. So it really depends the outcome between Russia and Ukraine war at this point. We can see gold and other commodities like US oil, they have already increased by 10 to 20% over the past 8 days. We don't see this kind of bullish trend pretty common. It's not so common to see this kind of bullish trend unless there's a big event. So we can see inflation going to get worse than before. It's definitely not going to get better, and the Fed has to do something about it because this year, last year their issue was on unemployment. This year will be on inflation. We can see a lot of Feds, not just Feds, but Bank of England, the Canadian bank, they has already increased some of the rates. So I think this will continue. The rate hikes, it's not going to come down. It's definitely going to just go up. We can experience it in some, not just in Europe or US, even in Asia, even in Singapore, rates are going up. Will this be able to curb inflation? I do not know. I hope so. But at this point, inflation is definitely getting worse. If the sanctions you mentioned were to cast on the Russia, will this cause an issue to inflation? I believe it doesn't. However, because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, we can see a lot of commodities that's needed. We can see the need for more tanks, the need for more oil, the need for more coal, the need for more natural resources to challenge for Russia to challenge Ukraine. And with that amount of demand, inflation is definitely there, and it might be worse for consumer like us. Yeah, that's all for me.
Thanks, Jeffrey, for answering the question. Pretty much, it was well answered. Okay, so probably any more questions from our viewers tonight before we end the show? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's end the night here. Okay. So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks Jeffrey and thanks Jake for giving your thoughts and views on the market this week. And we hope to see all of you back again next week. Probably next week will be better for the economy as well. Okay. So now before we end, don't forget to like and follow our Facebook page at XAU Merlion, and also share this live stream to anyone. It will be posted after that on Facebook, so you can rewatch again on the topics that we have discussed today. Okay. 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 I think let's end the show tonight. Thanks, Jake and Jeffrey. We see you all again next week. And thanks everyone who has joined us this evening. Good to see you all again. And
So thank you, and good evening for everyone.
okay, thanks, Jake, and thanks, Jeff. Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone, and we see you all next week again. Do join us next week. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.